Brian, met Lopez en Pedersen zijn er deze week 2 spelers vertrokken. Er was ook interesse in de nodige spelers. Is het een onrustige week voor je geweest als trainer?
No, not really. It's been I think it's been a normal week in some aspects. Especially this period with the window open, the players in and out. Obviously, we're still trying to get some replacements also within the squad, but there was 2 good opportunities for both Marcos and Marcus. Good clubs for them, good competitions for them as well. So I think at the end of the day, we found a common agreement that this was a good solution for all parties.
Jiménez gaat niet naar Nottingham Forest. Ga je ervan uit dat hij alsnog vertrekt of blijft hij sowieso bij Feyenoord?
You start really well today. I have no idea, to be honest. I hope he will stay with us. I think again, when the window is open, it's too naive to think that or to expect that everybody will stay on board. Football is still football, and you never know. But there's no doubt the closer we get to the window and options may be running out, then I think we're also getting closer to see the squad of Feyenoord. But I think it would be naive of me to believe that everything is done until the window is completely shut down, and that's what I try to do, and that's how I try to work as a coach, work with the players that I have on board, and I and the staff have good conversations with Santi, and he's definitely fully motivated to play here and do his best. The rest of the squad, and then as I said, you never know in football what happens.
Kunnen we uitleggen hoe moeilijk het is voor een trainer in deze periode, juist dat de competitie is begonnen en je eigenlijk totaal niet weet hoe die selectie er straks uitziet? Ik kan me zo voorstellen dat je uitkijkt naar 2 september.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. I think if you ask all the coaches in the world, they say the same. It is difficult. It is a challenge, but it's a challenge you need to deal with. And as I said a couple of times, you can focus on many things, but I choose to focus on the things that I have available right here, and focus on trying to do the best I can short term. That means until the window is shut down, and then obviously we start to plan further ahead, which we already do. But when it comes to the games and this period, then it's all about winning these games with the players we have available. But it definitely is a challenging situation, and definitely here at a club like Feyenoord, where when we started up with the season, we had a lot of players in the squad, and we knew that some of them would leave us at a certain point, but just not when. That is a challenge to plan everything and also build up the team in a physical way that is necessary, not just for the first period of 4 weeks before the first international day, but also for the coming months, for December, where the Champions League games also are being played. That is a challenge.
Maar leidt het af dat spelers toch in verband worden gebracht en ook ongetwijfeld ook veel met zaakwaarnemers zitten, misschien niet helemaal op dit moment de 100% focus bij Feyenoord hebben?
No, my feeling is that the ones we have here, they are 100% committed. They are doing the job every day. They're 100% professional in any aspect, and then it's up to their agents and stuff like this to deal with anything outside Feyenoord. That is also normal, and that's the demand we have to these guys as well. And that's every time I talk to them, it's the same message. As long as you're here within 1908 and the cup, then you do your job. That's also what you're being paid for, and that's what we expect you to do. Be 100% present and be 100% Feyenoord. And if suddenly something happens, okay, it's part of football, and then we will deal with it. But don't slow down. Then we're all in trouble.
Tot slot kan je nog wel iets zeggen over Bijlo, die ook in verband wordt gebracht met Southampton. Ga je ervan uit dat hij vertrekt?
It's the same answer I think I will have to give you, unfortunately.
Nou, laten we dan over de wedstrijd gaan praten. Wat heb jij met derbies?
Nice. I love derbies. It's a game that matters a lot for not just the club but also our supporters. So derbies are always something special. These games, and it's our job to make sure that we win the derby also.
Je zei ook, elke wedstrijd vraagt wat anders. Vorige week speelde je met 4 achterop. Wat vraagt deze wedstrijd tegen Sparta?
The same definitely philosophy when it comes to how Feyenoord wants to play. I know we play away from home, but we need to be dominant and we need to take control of the game. I hope and I also expect that we will be more dangerous than we were in the first half against PEC. We need to do better in that aspect. That was definitely one of the issues that I had after the game, and also when we analyzed it again. I think first half we had an XG of 0.4 or 5, and second half was definitely much better, 1.8 I think it was. So we need to be dominant, but we also need to be able to create chances, and it was not as good as we should have done in the first half against PEC. And of course we cannot predict that it will be how the game will go on Sunday, but I will definitely push our boys to be dominant and also create chances, be direct when they have to.
Tot slot, belangrijke week. Volgende week is ook de Champions League loting. Vorige week, na PEC Zwolle, op de persconferentie, zei je: we zijn echt nog ver verwijderd van Champions League niveau. Kun je uitleggen wat er allemaal beter moet?
Yeah, no, I think different elements, to be honest. Physically, we need to do better. I know also we will be challenged in a different way when we play the Champions League games. We could maybe compare it a bit to the Johan Cruyff we played against PSV. That kind of intensity is what I'm looking for sure, also against teams in the Eredivisie. And sometimes you need a partner to dance, and sometimes you need to be able to speed up the game if the opponent is not there for intensity in the game. Then we need to do better. And that's also what we looked at, the data from the game. We need to sprint more. We need to bring in more intensity in the game, even though the opponent maybe is not willing to it, and maybe they are not looking for speed and intensity. Then it's our job as FEYENOORD to make sure that the opponents run, and they need to run fast. Then I have a clear vision that we will get some points waiting for us. Then tactically, offensively, defensively, for sure we need to do better.
Aan de NOS.
Vorig jaar was Sparta uit een hele lastige wedstrijd voor Feyenoord. Pas in de laatste secondes wist er eigenlijk een punt meegenomen te worden. Heb jij die wedstrijd gezien?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same picture. As I said, these derbies are never easy because it's got its own life, and it's got its own rhythm in the game as well. We play away from home, which is also a small issue in that aspect. I think Sparta is a good team. They can make it difficult for a lot of teams. Good striker, good offensive players. So again, it's up to us to be able to break them down.
Ja, waar ligt dan de moeite van Feyenoord? Waar moeten ze op letten?
As I said already, I think the striker is quite good. Lauritsen is a good striker in the box. We need to take out the crosses. We definitely also need to take out some transitions. They got some good quality in that aspect. Set pieces is also an element where we need to avoid it and not get too many against.
Ja, Feyenoord kijkt naar spelers die gaan vertrekken, maar dan moet je ook kijken naar mensen die eventueel de club kunnen versterken. Zou die spits van Sparta iets kunnen zijn voor Feyenoord?
That's a fine question. He's definitely a good player. I also scouted him when I was in Sparta, so I know what he's capable of. Whether he could be a player for us or not is probably not the right forum to discuss it.
Heeft dat anders met het vertrek van wel niet Gimenez te maken, of is het sowieso misschien?
No, I think, as I always say, we always try to look for improvements in the squad, whether it's short term or longer term. And definitely when it comes to the Eredivisie, I think it's important also to keep an eye on this league. It's a good league, some good players in the league. Lauritsen is one of them. So I think we always scout here first to see if there's somebody who can strengthen us. But no, it's when it comes to some of our players leaving and somebody else coming in, is like I said, it is something that I would rather not talk about here.
Thank you.
Graag gedaan.
Toch weer even terug naar de andere kant. Gaan we naar Dennis, Rijnmond.
Yes. Goedemiddag. Je bent duidelijk ook vandaag over de filosofie. Daar wordt niet aan getornd. Dat is altijd hetzelfde. Tegelijkertijd hoor ik je net ook zeggen, een uitwedstrijd vraagt soms net iets anders. Waar zit dat verschil in en hoe zien we dat aan jouw ploeg, het verschil tussen uit en thuis?
Definitely when it comes to the philosophy, it should be the same. We definitely go there to be dominant and to control the game, create chances. I think sometimes when you play away from home and definitely in a derby, you also need some game management. You need to be clever in the game, read the game, feel the game, feel the opponent also, and feel sometimes the stance. If you have a big chance against you, maybe be clever. Then you maybe don't need to make a lot of short passing, but then you try to ease off the momentum of the opponent maybe. So I think game management is definitely one of the words that the players will hear me talk about on Sunday.
Heb je iedereen fit? Ja, buiten Gernot Trauner waarschijnlijk.
Yeah, almost. We had Q and Gano doing the individual program, and we had a few boys that haven't been trained the fully week this week, but I expect them to be close to fit for Sunday.
Betekent dat Thomas Belen ook klaar is om weer in de basis te kunnen starten?
It's a possibility, yes. He had a good week. He's been training the whole week and looks quite good in that aspect. So he's definitely a possibility in the lineup.
Had het alleen met zijn fitheid te maken? Of zitten er ook tactische overwegingen bij tussen of je start met Bart Nieuwkoop of Geertruida op die rechter wingback plek?
Yeah, that's definitely something tactical as well. But actually, when it comes to Bela, he had something in his hamstring that made it challenging the last couple of weeks. So we didn't want to take any risks in that aspect.
Kun je uitleggen in welk type wedstrijd of type tegenstander je dan eerder voor Nieuwkoop kiest in plaats van Geertruida in die rol? Waar zitten die overwegingen in?
Yeah, I think there's different elements. It also comes down to who's maybe playing on the wing. What kind of opponents are we facing? What kind of game style are we looking at from the opponent? So I think different elements, and that's why it's so important that we got different types in the squad as well. Not just on the fullback, but also on the wingers. It's important that we can find the right combination. But I think it's obvious for all of us that there's a difference in playing style of Luciano and Bart Nieuwkoop.
Ja. Ik krijg best veel vragen ook over Jalen Mitchell, een nieuwe verdediger van jullie. Die hebben we nog niet gezien, ook niet bij de wedstrijdselectie. Hoe staat hij ervoor? Wat is zijn status?
Yeah, it's been actually up and down. When he first arrived, he had a small injury that we needed to take care of. And then he was back in training. Then he lost a few days also due to some fatigueness and small things here and there. I hope he's ready to be part of the game on Sunday. But it's a challenge for new boys to enter FEYENOORD. Definitely when you come from a league like the Costa Rican one, it's different level, and he definitely haven't been used to this kind of level before. How we train is different. The intensity is bigger. The load in the gym to make the boys stronger is also different. So we definitely expected some time of adjustment, but he's making good steps every day and every week, and he needs some consistency for sure.
En Osman, is daar alles mee geregeld? Zit hij erbij of kan dat nog niet?
Yeah, no, not yet. Not yet. He is still dealing with the paperwork to get into Holland with working permits and stuff like this. So it's basic stuff in that department. Nothing that we really can control, but we have to wait for the authorities to put a stamp in his passport so he can start working here for us.
Okay, dankjewel.
Graag gedaan.
2 rijen naar voren. Eagles, AD.
Ja, trainer, je hebt in veel landen gewerkt. Ik weet niet of daar ook politieagenten zijn die staken rond het voetbal. Ik weet niet of je het gevolgd hebt, maar de politiebond houdt het open dat er ook bij de klassieker gestaakt zou worden. Dat zou betekenen dat hij niet gespeeld kan worden. Is dat iets wat helemaal niet in je schema past of laat je dat maar?
Yeah, I just heard it the other day that it's maybe an issue, but to be honest, I'm not thinking about the klassieker right now. It's all about Sparta and the derby. Then I trust the people around the club to make the right decisions for everybody.
Oké, dankjewel.
Gaan we naar links.
Naar links, naar rechts. Is goed.
Yeah, Brian, I just want to come back on some of the transfer stories. Of course, every player who wants to leave has an ambition to play in the Premier League or in Spain. This club has made it clear that they cannot go for certain fees. They've put the price up high without even mentioning a price, but everything that's been offered so far has been wiped off the table. You've only been here a few weeks, but of course you've been able to assess the quality of the players. With that in respect, would you say it is fair what the club is doing? They have marked their players on a certain level. There is a benchmark here.
This is a really interesting question. I think actually it's a question maybe to take even higher than me in that aspect, because I don't know what's going on exactly with all the negotiations when you sign a player and the contract, what is agreed between players as well and the club, what kind of clauses that might be in the players' contracts as well. I've no idea. I normally don't ask about it because to be honest, I don't think it's for me to know these things. My aim, my focus is the player and make sure that I develop him and make sure that he performs for me. The things that I've heard is that everything is going as it should. I also been a player, so I know exactly what sometimes is going on in the mind of the players, and I definitely think that one of the issues when you sign at Feyenoord, then you're already at a big club. Then it's also quite normal that if you want to leave this club at a certain point of view, the club will also ask a certain amount of money. Whether it's too much or too low, as I said, it's not for me, but I definitely have a feeling from the things that I get from mainly Dennis, but also from the board, then everything is quite straight and as it should. And then I think also there will always be different opinions. That's also fair. I try always when I talk to the players regarding line up or not line up, they can agree or they can disagree. But at the end of the day, I expect them to respect my decision and then push forward, and then it is football. And that's also their job to make sure that they perform for us until they're no longer here. And then, as I said, I expect that there will definitely be a good, respectful dialogue when it comes to some players leaving or not leaving. And I definitely have the impression that things are run in the way that I also like respect for each other. That's crucial.
But quality-wise itself, you've assessed the squad now over a length of period. You can understand that in Denmark or in other smaller countries compared to England and Germany, that the benchmark is different here. And purely looking at the quality, do you think the quality of this squad resembles high prices?
I do, yes. It's a team and a club who were champions a few years ago. Played really well in Champions League, fighting for championship last year in the Eredivisie. Won the cup. Have a lot of players in international teams. Obviously, the Dutch league is not Premier League or La Liga, but it's a good league. It's a league that also produces good teams in Champions League, which is also for me the best tournament in the world. I think it's normal when you're in a club like this. There will also be high asking prices for the players, and I think no matter which league you look at, also smaller ones that you talk about in Denmark or in Prague, we're talking some big sales around 15-20 million euro for certain players. So I think at the end of the day, it comes to who's willing to buy players or not, and asking price will always replicate the quality.